And we are live. What's up, beasties? It's Triple B, your friendly neighborhood bearded book beast. Welcome back to another episode of Beast Friends Forever. Woo! I am excited for this one today. I'm going to have on one of my very bestest friends, one that I'm super excited for all the awesome things he has coming, especially next week when his book finally comes out. I'm talking about the charming, very good looking, and very talented Chance Dillon. Let's bring him on now. Round of applause.
You always give me more credit than I'm warranted.
What is up, dude?
The Bearded Book Piece intros don't get better. They just never do.
Oh, man.
In terms of like, it's impossible for somebody else to do them better. Yeah.
I don't know about that. It's all true things. All true.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Man. I'm doing good. How are you doing, man?
I'm good. You're doing all the dad stuff today?
Oh yeah. Well, my son is like huge into photography. It's like his thing. And he really wants to get into doing sports photography, like being like the person for the high school teams and stuff that takes pictures. So he's been wanting to get this camera. So on Saturday, I drove him about 45 minutes away to get a camera. Wow. And then I'm like, all right, let's chill for a while. Well, then he's like, well, I need this lens that zooms in from far away and then I'll be done. And he's like, there's this one that I found that's usually like $300 and I can get it for $100. I'll use my money. I just need you to drive me. And I'm like, all right. So then I'm like, where's it at? And he's like, oh, it's in Greer, South Carolina, which is an hour away. And where I was yesterday with my wife for her friend's 40th birthday party. I'm like, I was just there yesterday. Like, give me a drive back again.
That's brutal.
And of course, there's always so much traffic, always so much stuff. So it never goes as smooth as you think.
You're good. I just want to catch up, Yeah.
I know. I'm excited, man. You got a lot of stuff in the pipeline that I can't wait to talk to you about.
Oh yeah.
I move this now so that people can see this beautiful.
Oh, there it is.
Whoa.
Oh, how's settling in, by the way?
We're getting there. Put it on this side. Not enough room on that side. We're getting there. It's we got all the essentials unpacked and we're living life, which is good. I love it down here, but there's just boxes in the garage and boxes in our closet that I need to go through, but it's like just living life for a while, but it's going good, man. I'm excited. Got the office set up, and that was the most important thing. So now that that's done, I'm feeling good.
Yeah, I mean, once I saw your video back, like your first video back, I was like, oh, here we go. He's back.
That's right.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's good. It's good.
It's good that the community has you back. You were missed.
Oh well, I appreciate that, man. Let's shout out some awesome people that are here to celebrate you with me. Let's see. We got Mark from the Book Lounge. What's up, Mark?
Mr. Mark.
Sam Wise is here. What's up, Sam?
Yes.
Wasabi. You got to say it real quick.
Yeah, Wasabi Gangsters.
Yes, there it is. Let's see. Oh yeah, we got Broken English book reviews. What's up, man?
Yeah.
Thanks for being here. We appreciate it. Mr. Zachary Forbes, another awesome indie author. Let's see. Ooh, British Virgin Islands. Man, you guys are on a nice vacay.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Next time, bring us with you, man. Come on. Chris is here. What's up, Chris? Thanks for being here. Tim McKay, what's up?
What's going on?
It is a great cover. I agree.
Thank you. Yeah, Stuart Batch.
Yes. You got a nice big stack there behind you too.
Oh yeah, just over my shoulder.
I love the spine too.
I'm giving away all like 10 of these today. By the end of the day, I think I might.
There you go.
I might do a recording I put up tonight, but my newsletter is getting 5, and then the comments on that last video are getting 5. So
that's awesome. Man.
You're like the tail end of this like long weekend that we had of a sale in the ebook. You're like and this giveaway. You're championing it.
The cherry on top.
Yeah. Sam,
Oh,
I see Sam says
I
something
was
about
just gonna
a
say.
beanie. This is actually a headband.
I was
Because
gonna say I don't think it's a beanie. Yeah, I
if
thought
I
I saw
didn't
the
have,
shiny locks in there.
yeah, if I didn't have this on, my hair looks insane. It
I
goes
know.
everywhere.
I hear you, man. That's what I got.
Yeah.
Man. All right. So why don't you just tell us a little bit to start before we get into other stuff?
Sure.
Tell us a little bit about your book and some of the awesome things you have going on right now and coming up that you want
Yeah.
people to know.
Yeah. So to start, the quick pitch is Mercy is a series. It's 4 books. It's going to be, the goal is that it's a duology in the way that, Lord of the Rings is a single book, so 2 books equate to a single story arc, and then the last 2 will equate to the final story arc of this epic. And the questions I asked myself, the what ifs were: what if Aragorn lost everything after the war for the One Ring? And then what if Samwise had to kill Frodo in order to save Middle Earth? Those are the 2 big questions. And those prompts kind of guided me through, and are currently guiding me through the entire realm of the story. The world building is heavily inspired by Elden Ring, and that those are kind of the big things. I think the Elden Ring aspect of being dropped into a story, not knowing where you are, and having to figure it out, and the fascination I have with that sort of narrative structure, and also the narrative structure tie-in of like suffering that Souls games typically have, and the purpose is become suffering and pushing through. But yeah, I think a lot of the influence of this book came from my cinematic love of Lord of the Rings, the new Dune movies, and Christopher Nolan, and Denis Villeneuve, just generally. Like those, I think cinematic influences played a giant role. Malazan played a giant role. And as far as things going on right now, like today again marks the last day of a 99-cent ebook sale. So it's Monday, July 14th. I have to lock all the documents into KDP because the book comes out Sunday. And I'll be doing a live stream. And Chris, I got to send you the link for Sunday, but between the hours of 12 and 4 Eastern time, I'll be having many people stop in. I shot messages out today, and the goal, I think the goal is to have some people drop in and say hi. Andrew, actually, I might, and Sam, actually, I have to send you guys message, but the goal is to have people, hang out and then drop in and out, not feel the need to hang around for all 4 hours, but essentially just do like hanging out with buddies, booktube friends. And yeah, I mean, I think we're on pace. The community's kind of rallied around, I'm not a very big booktuber or book influencer at all. And we've had this rallying of this community this book might be launched on the charts on day 1, simply just because of the number of pre-orders we have. So once those go through on Sunday, we're going to start to see those look a certain way. And that's going to, I think it's really cool to see the story go out there and get in people's hands, and, for people to make of it what it is, good and bad. I think people know at this point who I've been following to, not expect hand holding, but to trust, at least especially through the first book. And I'm just really excited. I don't know what else there is to say. I'm shocked and amazed at the reception the book's had, and yeah, I can't wait to continue to tell the story, really.
Oh, that's awesome, man. Well, congrats, dude. I'm super pumped for you, and just as a reader and as your friend, I'm excited for the book, but also as someone who also is writing and wants to do the same thing. I think it's inspiring that you're chasing this dream and you're doing it all right, dude. Like, talking to you behind the scenes too. Like, you've been patient, you've worked your butt off, and you've taken all the steps you need to make this happen. And I think it's going to pay off big, and I'm excited to be able to see it happen for you, dude. You deserve it.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of stuff in the pipeline in the future. I'd love to, be able to help create, generally speaking. I think there's so many creative people in this community, and I don't know. I think it'll be cool to like come together on a lot of this stuff. I know that we're technically independent, and you end up self-publishing, but I feel like a lot of this journey doesn't need to be done alone. And I think the pooling of resources, and it hasn't been, obviously I've had so much help at this point. I think one of the biggest shout outs belongs to Abel Montero, who's also an author of The Crimson Fire, who did my typography, the dust jacket design, and the cover itself was Stuart, but Abel really helped me with that. All the formatting, the, late night texts, he lives in Sicily of, that's his book. Yep, exactly.
Too. Beautiful.
All the late night texts of like, hey, I need this done. What do you think about this? What's your experience with this? And he's just, he's been a tremendous help. Yeah. And of course, the Red Company guys, you, Jake, Alex, just, that core group of folks, the Book Street boys, and I don't know, everybody. There's so many. Ashen Houston's another author who's been super helpful. She just came out with her own book, The Heart of Grimm. And Andrew Watson, another author, chatted me out on the July releases. I just think it's so cool that you have all these creatives, and obviously we're all naturally readers, like you write and also you read, and you teach, right? You instruct, and that's also a big thing too. But yeah, I'm just absolutely awestruck by the community in general. It's crazy. It's like so awesome to see all of it, kind of everybody just come together generally, and chat story, whether it's with me or not. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, so how does it feel right now, like knowing it's less than a week away after all the patience you've shown by, writing the book, editing the book, getting early stuff out there to people, and getting art copies out, and just having to wait and wait, even though you just want to get it out in the world, but knowing you had to take these steps, you had to wait, you had to let the process take place. Like, does it feel real to you yet that it's actually going to be available to anyone? Or does it still feel like it's not real yet?
Yeah, I mean, I'm obviously like proud of the work. I know that there needs to be, obviously there's more work ahead. And like even today, after we get off this call, I'm summing up the last 2 chapters of book 2 before I send it off to the alpha readers, Sam. Right. But there's 20 some odd people who are going to have their hands on book 2, and, opening myself up to criticism from them. But that's the intention, is that they give it. It's just like the next thing, and doing what I can to maximize the exposure of this project, because it's a story I'm passionate about and I love, and I love sharing the things that I love. I'm sure everybody usually, I think, in this community feels that way about the things that they love. They want people to experience and vicariously enjoy it. But yeah, 1 stars all around.
But he's joking.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, Sam has been great as well. And he's been recently diving into the Elden Ring hole. So it's cool to hear his experience with that.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I feel a tremendous amount of like, I know I worked hard. Like I know I worked hard. And I know that I'm going to continue to work hard. And I'm hoping that a lot of the windows that are starting to make themselves available to me, I can jump through, and sort of, there have been people in front of me that have paved the way for independent publishing and self-publishing, but I'm hoping to maybe, I don't know, break some new ground in terms of what is possible if I can pull it off. I don't exactly know what that looks like, but I know I'm a hard worker, and I know that there's a ton of hardworking people out there that are doing the same thing, and I would love to highlight a lot of those people and their projects and work. So yeah, a tremendous amount of gratitude is probably the number 1 answer, really. Just simply because of everything we've kind of talked about the first 10 minutes here, but gratitude for all the work, all the people that have helped me, all the people that have supported it, left reviews, good or bad. Just everything. There's so much gratitude. It's crazy. Like I couldn't do this without a ton of other people. So yeah.
That's awesome, man. Well, I think that's why you talk about the railing around you and the book. A lot of that is because of the person you are. Like, you can just hear how thankful you are, how humble you are. Like, anybody that meets you is rooting for you, dude, and they're in your corner. So I think a lot of the rallying around you, it is an awesome community, but a big part of that is just because of who you are and how you've supported and been there for other people. And we all just want to do the same for you. And I'm reading your book It's really good. That also helps. It's a really good book.
Yeah, I
So,
hope so. Yeah, that's their goal, really. Yeah.
yeah. No, I love it, man. Moving kind of slowed me down because I haven't had time to read besides audiobook. And I actually tried when I was driving to listen to like the automated voice read it on my Kindle app, and I'm like, oh, I gotta read it myself. I can't listen to it in this but I'm through into part 2.
Okay.
And it's really good. And I was hoping I'd finish it before today so we could talk spoilers.
It's okay.
I would love to have you on in a couple weeks after it's been out a bit and do a spoiler talk.
Absolutely.
Because I'm gonna have a lot of questions.
Yeah, let's do it. I'd love to. And I think there might be some news on the horizon. I'm not too sure as far as audio is concerned. There's nothing confirmed, but I think this is the first time I'm saying it publicly. But Chris, you heard it here at Bearded Book Beast. But there may or may not be something cooking. I don't know. We'll see.
Okay.
We'll see what goes on. It'd be a while, but again, there's nothing confirmed, so I don't want to get into specifics. But things are looking up.
Right.
Yeah, things are looking up. Yeah,
that is very cool. And I'll say that yes, when you get dropped in, you don't know what's going on, but I do love how over time, and I'm not all the way through the book yet, but even just the first, over half, as time goes on, you do, I can see the things you plant and the little seeds and nuggets you drop, and you kind of start figuring things out. And I actually love that process of, because I've never been lost where I'm like, I have no idea what's going on.
Yeah.
It's more like, this is cool, I want to understand it better. And then you slowly start getting a better and better picture of it as time goes on. But what you do really well, I like that, what I just mentioned, but I think you write characters really well, and dialogues really well. The action's really done well. You are a pretty good writer, my friend. I'm not just saying that because we're friends. Because we're friends, I would tell you, dude, you probably shouldn't do this writing.
Yeah, that's what I would hope. I think which is funny because I do think there definitely are people who are close who have given me some criticism, which is good. And a lot of unfortunately, there's some unavoidable things. I think a part of the journey as somebody who works on a project like this is to go through those bumps and bruises. Also, there's a lot of intention in no hand holding, which I understand. If it's very easy to get bogged down in a lot of the terminology that I throw in there. But the hope is that we're harped in or focused on the emotions, which is big for me. I think I did a lot of cutting of extra emotional stuff, but I made sure to try and keep the hold of what each person is feeling at each given moment. To the best of my ability, and I only hope to improve and get better at that. Yeah.
And I feel like that's what you hear so many authors say, even the big ones that we love. They talk about how they got better with every book. You learn more every time, just from writing, from publishing, from everything. And you keep reading too, which I think reading is huge for an author to keep learning things too. And I agree with what Sam says. Yours is the most daring and experimental. I agree. We got a couple other people that popped in. I want to shout out quick. Nicole from Nicole's Bookish Nook is here.
Howdy.
What's up, Nicole? And SR Arkaway is here. What's up?
Yeah.
Gratitude is good to have. And yes, that robot voice, it is. It's fun to listen to. All right. So tell us a little bit. You mentioned earlier you're a cover artist, but just the cover is amazing. It's gonna sell you a lot of books without people even reading the blurb or anything. It's just that cover. Tell us about your cover artist and the process of you working with them and how you came up with that cover.
Yeah. So first thing I saw, well, actually, I'm taking the dust jacket off right now to show you the other cover by Robert Chotia, the naked hardback. Actually, hold on, I'm gonna put this down for a second.
Oh yes, people, and I ordered this bad boy too. Can't wait. Oh, look at that.
Yep. Robert Chotia did this puppy here, and then let me see if I'll turn it over. And yeah, he crushed this as well. I was really happy with this.
That is so cool, man.
But the
Wow.
the cover and the dust jacket design was a bell, but the actual cover, most of the stuff in the cover is all done by Stuart Bach. I think it's Bach. I gotta actually figure that out. I still to this day I have no idea. But yeah, he's actually, funny enough, he's working on the second book cover right now, so
Nice.
should have
Okay.
news there as well. But yeah, so I started with I loved Ryan Cahill's cover.
Yeah.
So that was something that really stuck out to me. And of course, I was like, okay, let me find the artist that did this.
Mhm.
And then I saw a Blood Meridian, like this poster. It's like a bull
Oh, yeah.
skeleton with a man walking into like a sunset, with all these things sort of like in the image of the bull. And so I saw that. I sent that to Stuart. I sent Cahill's covers over to Stuart, who, I mean, he knew what they were, but I wanted to show him essentially what I was going for. And then yeah, he really crushed it. I mean, far better than, yeah, exactly. Better than, I know, I was just holding it up for myself. Better than anything.
Well, I didn't know if
I
you
could have imagined.
thought it was on screen and it was like off, and I'm like,
Oh,
I guess
whoops, my bad.
I could hold it up instead of just sitting there.
Yeah. But the detail of you don't know if it's, some sort of vascular system or trees.
Mhm.
That's intentional, and I'm glad that he did that. The downward facing, hilt of the blade, and there's actually a third edge that you can't. If you look hard at the cover, you can see the third edge. It's right over the blade, the top of the blade of the hilt.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's also intentional because of the weapons that a certain class of characters uses. Inside of the blade, you have a gem, which it could be a couple things. I like to think of it as like a pretty good initial, the first ever initial tier, actually inside of the blade there. Yeah, he just really crushed it. And then of course you have Alvis Lightseeker walking on the side there.
Oh yes.
On the spine, which I know you showed, but I'll show it again.
So cool.
Yeah. Yes, very, very much looking forward to see what he comes up with the second book. And then I also have an idea what the third book is going to look like, just generally.
Ooh, okay.
Because I have different emblems for each. The second one is going to be really, really cool. But yeah, I can't wait.
Oh man, awesome stuff. Sam, I'm reading it right now. Were you not
Book of the New
listening?
Sun, baby. Samwise is him and Jake are both in their Gene Wolfe era.
Oh man, I know. I know Sam. He's the Gene Wolfe king.
I get it though. I want to finish the whole catalog. I just had to veer off of it after Book of the New Sun.
Man, I got to read Book of the New Sun at least first. You got me beat there. I do need to add it, Sam. I do need to read it. I have it. That's step one. I have it. But reading it is the next part.
Yeah.
All right, so that is awesome. So you the cover's great. You've got plans for more covers. That's good. So I think I love the magic system in your book and everything with like the tiers and all that stuff. How did you come up with that? Was that specifically from one thing? Was it just from you, or was it a combination of things that inspired you to come up with that?
If you're talking about just the tiers specifically, that was something that came to me initially. I had them called something else, and I won't say what that is just in case I eventually use them. It came to me as this life essence of X, Y, and Z, and then there's various things that when put into different circumstances can accomplish other different things. And I think I intentionally am pretty vague about the magic system, so I don't want to say too much, including a lot of the facets that I found. Like the rune system is heavily inspired by RuneScape, one of my favorite games growing up.
Oh yeah.
And I play on that a little bit in the second volume of the book, where we'll see. I definitely have a hard set of rules in my mind as to what works and what doesn't. But I rear towards exposing it as a soft system because technically it is. Like I think magic's magic, and I said this on another podcast. Like hard and soft to me, like magic's magic. Like super hard magic to me just becomes science, which is nothing's wrong with that. It's fine. Right. Also, it is science in a lot of ways. I think as long as there's a narrative, a good narrative craft in terms of storytelling, I think that magic's role shouldn't be so massive in solving problems so much as like the setup and the exposition of what XYZ means. And I don't want to get too deep into the weeds, but yeah, the magic of the tears themselves is definitely something that's sort of I'm trying to think of like where that could have came from.
Yeah.
And in the moment, I just remember having like a spark of thought about it, and it changed the whole story. Honestly, the trajectory of the entire story. Yeah, it just popped in my head. I'm literally I'm trying to think of like the main thing that crafted that thought. And I think having, knowing that these artisans who were a part of building this new world had it in its eternal life. And what if there was something that could take that away? That more like simpler than just a blade, that was a thought that really crossed my mind. And then what sort of wherewithal would one of those people need as a hero to be able to pull it from themselves and put it somewhere else? That's it did kind of just spark in my mind one day. Yeah.
Very cool. Something else that I love, I guess it sounds wrong to say love about the book, but you are not afraid to go dark, dark. And I feel like because you're not afraid to do that, it gives kind of like a gritty realism to this world and this story, because there's violent parts, and it's not a very safe world that some of these characters live in. And when just terrible things happen, it's like, oh man, but at the same time, it's like, well, if that's how it was in our world, in real life, that stuff would happen. But so when you wrote some of those really dark scenes where just things happen that are going to make people, get the chills a little bit, did you see some of those dark things happening from the start, or did you have trouble writing them at all? Did it, or was it like when you write dark stuff like that, does it sit with you for a bit after? Because even if the character you create, their sole purpose is, that something bad is going to happen to them, you still created those characters, and then these terrible things have to happen to them. Did you have any struggles with that, or how do you handle that, and how does it kind of affect you when you're writing it?
Yeah, I think baseline rule that I had to learn, I think, is truth. Tell the truth. And a lot of the violence, that happens, especially that early one. So that early one, let me get. I can dive into that without getting spoilery, but that was a backstory to one of my D&D characters, and it was the first ever time I really wrote something. And the D&D character happens to be Alibist, and I did it initially fading to black. There's a certain part where that scene transitions and it's about to become violent. And initially when I wrote it, I faded to black. I think I had drafted the first book, and then I went back and I was like, this just doesn't feel right. And then exposing on it and seeing what actually happened in that moment helped unlock so much potential in the story. And once I learned that lesson, fortunately early on, I don't want to hold back on that stuff, because what it did was it created a lot of ripple effects. The actual way that the violence happens has an effect. And I know you're nodding your head, Chris, but where you are in the book, you have no idea what I'm talking about.
I don't.
Which makes me very excited for how this is gonna end.
But I have seen some other parts where you've gone dark, and I feel like because you were willing to do it then, you take the kids' gloves off, gloves off, for other parts. But
I think whenever you play with immortality inside of a story, I feel like there has to be for tension to exist, there has to be there has to be something that can take that away. And the slow exposition of what that thing is, scattered throughout different parts of the narrative, different POVs who are maybe facing something that looks like X, Y, and Z. I think that was something that I love playing with. I really cheated using a lot of perspectives, by the way. I think it does increase the scope of the story. It does increase the scale, and it makes it, when you're creating something big, I feel like it does make it a bit easier to show a lot of the narrative stuff that I'm planting. But yeah, all the Puritans are ended up and forced to shave.
Yeah,
that one. That's so funny. And I see John's here. What's going on, John?
Yeah, I was gonna say John is here. What's up, John from Talking
Yeah.
Story? Thanks for being here. I would agree with this too.
What was it?
What Sam said, that for as violent as the book can get, it was never cringy or edgy, or it all serves a purpose. And I think, like I said, if there's going to be evil in a book or in a story, like there's got to be evil in a story. If people are evil, you got to see how evil they are. And I think you don't write it in such a graphic way where it's like, oh, but it's like, if you got to read the page, you got to read the words, and you can't look away, even though it's something terrible is happening. And I think that's important for something like this. So I think you did it. I think you do a great job balancing that darkness and the light. There's hope. There's no hope. And the point of views, you have a lot, but they're all really good. I will say there's some books where I read and it goes to a point of view and I'm like, oh gosh, not this one again. Or, I want to get back to that one. But every one, it's like, oh, sweet. We're checking back in with this character now. So I feel like that's a really good sign that it's like that. I feel like you're doing a good job with that.
Yeah. The greater. It also helps me as an exercise to sort of display the importance that each person has, whether it's to themselves or to the greater world, and then also like their self-perceived. What does that look like? Typically we usually think the worst of ourselves in any given situation. So you're going to you do see a bit of that. But I think most of the time, like hope and perseverance are two primary things I wanted to focus on, as well as suffering and, people's different perspectives through suffering and those hope in the eyes of the unknown, I think is something that I really wanted to harp on. And you don't really get to dive into the unknown unless there's some darkness in front of you. So I liked to paint a lot with that, sable color as the picture started to show itself.
Nice. Well put. I have to say too, Sam had said the thing about the bearded beast being forced to shave, and Chris had a nice little jab there too by Big Bird.
It was
terrifying.
Those are the two primary things in the story.
I know. Jeez, I haven't got to that part.
Spoilers.
And I got to shout out another awesome indie author. Jose is here. What's up, man? Thanks for being here. All right. So let us know. I'm curious because you wrote a lot of awesome characters. If you had to just say which character was your favorite to write,
Hade, without hesitation. I don't subscribe.
I
don't subscribe to the Joe Abercrombie. It's like picking a favorite child. I'll just tell you. Yeah. I'll tell you what my favorite child is.
That's awesome. Okay.
Favorite child, definitely Hade, and then obviously it is. I'll say this. The more I'm in a character's head, the more I enjoy. Instead of Mickey's 40, it is just a water bottle. I am not getting hammered on a Monday afternoon. But I think the more I got to expose into different characters' heads, I felt like more attached to them. Of course, every single one. Yeah, exactly. Everybody. I think telling who the favorite child is important. I'll say Hade was, I think, the easiest, just because I think that the actual narrative voice itself was probably the closest to my actual thought process in my brain when writing. And there's a particular scene where he's drunk, which I thought was one of my favorite scenes to write. So I think that sticks out to me to this day, just as like a fun one. And yeah, I think he's up there, and then everybody else. Viala, I really loved writing. Salazmir is, I think, one of the most complex individuals I wrote. I think he's arguably the most nuanced in a lot of ways. And I think, as people move through the book, they might discover that themselves. So I don't want to spoil it or anything, but I think he has essentially just a past that weighs on him, but he has also a big role in the world that he has to play. And yeah, it's and there's stuff in his personal life that we get to see a little bit of, and it's I think it's always interesting to see that sort of I'll just say justification, right? It's always interesting to see, we see ourselves maybe sometimes as good, and maybe what we're doing isn't necessarily good, or maybe it's not even bad. Who knows? But yeah, I don't know. I love that sort of stuff. I love that thought experiment, which is why he was one of the more fun characters to write. But Haid easily, just for the actual voice of Haid, because it was just so similar.
Oh yeah, I like it. Nice. That is a good choice. So yeah, I was gonna say, is this true?
Well, funny enough, Haid is loosely based on a character of one of my D&D games, Hayden. We called him Haid 6 because after Cade 6 from Destiny. But yeah, Haid is the narrative voice there was just the easiest to tap into for sure.
Nice. Okay. All right. So we are going to switch gears a little bit in a second.
Sure.
We already chatted about some of the stuff we'll chat about way back when we met the first time a few months ago. But now that the book's going to come out, might get some new eyes on this interview that haven't yet. Haven't heard your story yet, so I'm going to have you walk us through your story to publishing and your inspirations and all that stuff. But before we do, I got a question for you, Chance.
Let's do it.
Are you ready for some dad jokes?
I'm ready for dad jokes. Have you read my Instagram bio?
What? No.
There's master of dad jokes in there. I'm not a dad, but
you got some for me?
Not off the top of my head. I need to be they're all situational.
Oh man. All right. I didn't pull these off my list here. I don't want to tell you one I already said. Okay, this is a good one. I've heard this one before. You might have too. Why don't they play poker in the jungle?
Why?
There's too many cheetahs.
That is good.
Oh yeah. All right. One more. Let's see.
Right, crush it.
That's.
I love when you look.
This one's pretty bad, but it's good.
Okay.
It. All right. What sound does a bird's phone make?
Oh, what?
Wing wing.
He said, "This is bad."
Oh gosh, that one's gonna take a while to recover from.
I love it. People are gonna skip to this part of the video. This is gonna be the most replayed section.
Oh yeah. All right, the next page, when I pull that off, it is a book related one, so I should say this one too. Last one.
Okay.
All right. What did the this is book reviewer, but since we're both on booktube, we're gonna say this. What did the booktuber say about the history of glue? The book called The History of Glue.
What?
I couldn't put it down. That was really bad.
All right, let me explain that one.
Okay. All right. So, like I said, tell us a little bit about your story to becoming a published author, which you are about to be. Take us back to when you were young and just walk us through, what first got you into fantasy, and then also when you started writing and when it became something where you thought, you know what, I'm going to really go for this and try to write a book and get it published.
Yeah. When I was young, I wasn't much of a reader, actually. Cinema was really my introduction into story, just of like, relatively speaking, just like scope of story. Star Wars, the old original Star Wars movies were the first time I was like, oh, this is fascinating.
Oh, yeah.
And so I watched those really young. I watched the prequel trilogy. I don't care what people say. I love that. And then I love the Lord of the Rings movies, going to the theaters, watching them on DVD on replay over and over and over again.
Oh, awesome.
I joke in other conversations I've had with people that I have almost as much extended edition watch time as I do Life on Earth. But But yeah, I absolutely fell in love with it then. Reading was not my thing growing up. I had a desire to, I'd pick up the the Magic Tree House books and the Animorph books and look at the covers. I might try and read the back every once in a while. Even the old Lord of the Rings, we had a Lord of the Rings trilogy I would always look at because I was obsessed with the film. So anything about them I would just stare at. But yeah, book reading I didn't really do much of, and then I picked up fiction through the Terminalist series. I started reading the thrillers mostly that way. Otherwise it was just nonfiction I read exclusively. I like listening, and then I knew I loved fantasy, and there were other and I'm putting this together, and this is why I'm happy I have so many of these conversations because it helps me. I watched Dune with my mom, and then I started understanding when she was with me after I had a hip surgery back in April of 23. And I was in the Navy at the time. My buddies were on deployment. She was with me only for 10 days. Leading up to that, I had played a lot of Dungeons and Dragons, and by a lot I mean over that last 6 months, I had written a campaign. I had ran 2 different tables of 8 people with the Codium, so 17 to 18 people rotating in and out. Of this world that I've created now, just trying to explore it really with them, the players. So there was a lot preceding it. There's some writing there. Otherwise, I hadn't really written much. But I always was a storyteller. I always loved telling stories. I love I love music. I love the stories that are told in song. I love poems. I love, I love all that stuff. I think when it comes to storytelling in general, I always had kind of a knack for understanding and peeling apart story. And what makes me tick, like what strikes me emotionally. Writing, I had this surgery. I think I bought the Memory Star and Thorn trilogy. And I started reading it a little. Dragonbone Chair. My mom had left. I was in a really, really low moment. I had a situation with an ex-girlfriend where we had a relatively long relationship when I was going into the military. I got into the military, and then it was a back and forth thing for a little bit. And then it come to a final end. That 10 day, that day my mom left, I was on FaceTime with this woman, and I decided that it was actually no more. And so I was just in a really low point. My buddies were all on deployment. I was in crutches because I just had my hip repaired. And then I crutched upstairs, sat in the chair, and got back into Alavist's story, and because I knew there was more there, and I started telling it, and I started writing 1,000 words a day. Some days, you do 5,000, some days you do 500, some days you do 10,000. It was just a big, just trying to learn it as I went, depending on how much time I had. But I gave myself a minimum of an hour a day, and I didn't stop. And there was no point when I was writing it that I was thinking that I wasn't going to put it out there. That my goal was, upon sitting in that chair, is that I'm going to tell this story, and I want other people to get an experience from it, no matter what. And so in doing that, it was a cathartic exercise for me as well. It's very therapeutic to sit there and do all this writing and be able to, develop, to grow something. And it was addicting to try and get better at it. And so obviously I did a lot of research. I watched all of Sanderson's lectures. I watched Hello Future Me's, videos on writing and world building. There's a lot of Dungeons and Dragons, like Dungeon Master videos out there that actually are I think would help a lot of creative fantasy writers and sci-fi writers. I think that there's a lot to be offered by Dungeon Masters and Game Masters of TTRPGs.
Little side note, Jacob had a question. I was going to ask you after, but since you're talking about D&D, real quick.
Resources. I would say watch people like you watch. If you ever watch video games, just go watch Critical Role. Go watch their. I say start with Campaign 2. Campaign 1's great. I think in the beginning it feels a little bit more insurmountable, just because you have to kind of get your bearings. But just watching them play and just getting an idea of how they play. Their game. I think that you have a bunch of experts doing it. That might not be the right idea, but I think just how to play D&D. There's tons of resources out there. The DM layer. There's I think D&D shorts. There's tons of people that have made videos on getting started, and finding a group is one of those things that you can either think there's Reddit forums and Discords, and just talk to people. Just kind of communicate in the community. of playing TTRPGs and finding yourself a DM to run a game with or be in a game with. But yeah, Dungeons and Dragons was a great help, and there was just a ton of research read on writing, read a bunch of nonfiction, books on screenwriting as well, just because I think like cinematically it was easy for me to sort of transition, how people write characters, how everybody has their story, wants, desires and fears, XYZ needs, I don't know, those things all play a big role in how I had to learn to write, which was a journey in and of itself. But nothing served me more than actually paying a professional editor in Dave Butler. He's a well tenured editor in the field of publication, and he was worth every single penny. I think if you can find yourself a developmental editor that is going to be critical, it's worth every penny. It's expensive, don't get me wrong, but it is worth every penny because you're getting essentially all of their wisdom in how many ever page document about your specific story, and now you have a master class in how to tell your story. So there's learning how to write, and then there's learning how to write your book, and so I think an editor is the most useful tool that we have at our disposal that I highly recommend. I think, I don't want to, I was worth every penny. That's all I'll say.
That's good, man. Yeah, I'd say that is important. And that's good that you found one that you worked so well with, because your story flows very smoothly. It is well written and it flows nice. So I can tell that it was a lot of thought went into it, and it wasn't rushed out or anything like that. So I would agree with you. Well done.
And I was looking for somebody who I think would have a more analytical approach to writing. And I know just from hearing Christopher Rocchio talk about Dave and working with him, I was like, okay, this sort of analytical mind is the mind I need on my project, because I can be very chaotic with how I write. So getting some information, getting Dave's experience and his ability to analyze greatly impacted, me and my writing. And I needed that. I needed somebody who thinks differently than me to be able to do my job better. Really.
That's good. That's good that you realized it and you went for it.
Yeah.
Let's see. We had some people pop in while we were chatting just now. We've got Anthony's here. What's up, man?
What's going on?
That was a good one. Too many cheetahs. Keys is here. What's up, Keys? Thanks for being here. And the wizard is here. What's up, Andrew?
Andrew.
What's happening, bro? Awesome people. We got an awesome group here. All right. Now back to your writing process a little bit. There's so many layers to this story with all the different POVs and the world and the magic, everything. Where do you fall on the plotter versus pantser spectrum? Are you like right in the middle? Or do you lean more towards plotting with all of that stuff? But I also feel like your characters are so well written that I feel like you got a little pantser in you too. So where do you fall in there?
Funny enough, strictly, I want to farther on the side of the spectrum with pantsing, having my pants flying by the seat of my pants for sure. A part of that is I have a lot of fun in the discovery process of speaking of discovery by J.A.J. Minton, a great cosmic horror book, receiving numerous praise throughout the community. So I'll go back. I love discovery. I love the book, and also just like figuring out what's going on with characters. I think my brain works in such a way that I like to sort of like pick out problems and solve them as I go. And so it was very natural for me to fall into that field. Usually in writing the second book, for the first 10 chapters, I saw Brian Lee Durfee talk about this. He said, just write down the chapters, maybe what perspective it's going to be in, and then write a few points. And so I did that for the first 10 chapters of book 2. And then I was like, okay, I don't need this anymore. And I realized with book 3, I cut that down to like 4 or 5, and I started getting the ball rolling on that. But it really helps ground me. So I do need a little bit of it. Right. Overall, the world and all that, again, this is sort of cheating because I had a lot of the stuff from the D&D game. Yeah, it was, so a lot of it was pre-established. When the story took place was going to naturally be sort of post how I had created the D&D world. So I had to start over there in a lot of ways, and obviously discovering things through each character. You start to figure out a lot of different ways the world looks through people's eyes, and what each of those little things may mean to one person, and how differently they may be to the other person. And then there's actually what is. And so I think it's cool to kind of play with that perception and also reality. I think those things are really cool tools to play with. But yeah, I think I did sort of try to take the Stephen King approach of just, writing and seeing what happens for the most part. So I say leaning cool. Mostly pantser. And then maybe like 10 to 15% plotting, and maybe someone might put an asterisk on that because of a lot of the world building was done through D&D. But yeah.
That's cool, man. I'm more of a pantser too, and I just feel like, I don't know, I just feel like that's the way to go, because it's just so enjoyable, because you're kind of almost reading it yourself, because it's happening as you create it,
so much more fun.
Instead of everything being plotted out where you're like, nope, can't change that, even if I have a better idea, can't change that.
I have in my head how the story is supposed to go, in terms of like a beginning and an end, and like relative beats, like things that I think can alter the story. But most of the beats that I found were through discovering and through like putting these characters into situations that I was like, okay, this is sort of where they're heading right now. And there's so much more fun, I think, in that. And I've heard Chris Ferracchio say everybody's a plotter, and I think there's something to that. Also, I think everybody's a pantser. I think everybody just if you're plotting, you're plotting from somewhere. Exactly. You're plotting from the same furnace, right? So I don't know.
I agree with you. I agree. I got to point out a couple comments here. John said, "Good editors can absolutely save you," and then he said,
"Save.
I'd be so dangerous if I could type."
Wait, what did he say?
Well, because he didn't say save, but he wrote save, and then he said, "I'd be so dangerous if I could type." And of course, Andrew pointed out, "Save me, John." But Jacob said, "This is all fitting because he thought he would be awarded grad school credits after reading Mercy." But for being newer to epic fantasy, this would be a big read if you're brand new to fantasy.
Yeah, definitely. This is, for people to be starting their epic fantasy journey or be like newer to epic fantasy and pick this book up, I'm grateful. Like, I sort of took the same approach with Malazan, though. Like, I think it was one of the first 10 books I picked up was Gardens of the Moon and fantasy.
That's pretty
good. And it mostly because I heard it was challenging, and I was like, I need to get into this. Also, I'll say this, like, my college education was limited to what I do right now in my career, and I dropped out after 2 years, and that was physical fitness. So for anybody out there wanting to be a writer, I think if you have a storytelling bone in your body, just sit down and learn and just go through the motions of that voice in your head telling you you're not great. Just get through that. And it's always going to be there, but you can push it down. Just keep going. That's really it. Just work hard.
I love it. All right. So still in writing process. When we're writing Mercy, or when you're working on book 2, do you two sides to this? One, are you a creature of habit with your writing? Do you write at like the same time? Do you have a favorite place you like to write, or do you just write whenever, wherever? And then the other side, you talked about how you give yourself an hour at least, and you try to write average like 1,000 words a day. Do you keep that goal, or where you specifically are like, oh, I didn't make 1,000, I got to make sure I get 1,500 today? Or do you just write, you just know you try to get it done by your deadline, or do you take it day by day? What do you do with all that stuff?
I set a deadline. So book 1, I was like 6 months, 1,000 words a day, 180,000 words. I ended at like 220. If that gives you any idea as to how many words I ended up plugging out per day. I think on the days that I missed, I would try and sit down at the computer a little bit longer. If I was like, okay, I only got 500 words because it was really a struggle today, I'm just going to sit there and get 1,500 today. Book 2, I pretty much stuck with that 1,000 word rule. It took about the same amount of time. I think I ended up at like 190-ish, and then, 185 or something like that in my first draft. I think it's up to like 190 now. But yeah, I try to stick with that. Book 3, I'm going to go in once I'm in like an official drafting phase, because I still technically am in book 2 development right now. So
Right.
I'm not counting my drafting phase of book 3. Really, I'm not there yet. Once I get into that, I think I'm going to try and pump 1,500 to 2,000 a day, just because I know what it takes now, and I'm getting better at it. So
Oh yeah, right.
I should also
Yeah.
challenge myself to be a little better and do a little
Yeah.
more. I think when I revise, I try to, usually it's a minimum of an hour period, and there's no like word goal. It's just like working through the stuff. I'll go in with an idea of maybe something that needs to be improved, and just focus on that narratively. Something that can make the story better in whatever way. I think when it comes to the question you were asking is about just general process.
Well, I was just curious. You answered part of it already, but I was
Okay.
wondering if you have like a favorite place that you write, like
Right.
where you
Sorry. Yeah.
or if you always write it like the same time, morning, night.
Yeah, I
night.
usually am an evening person.
Okay.
I would try in the morning. I have done in the morning for a time, but I'm more just it fits better in my life to do it around 4 to 7 p.m. range. I usually give myself that time to sit and write, or stand. Actually, in this instance, this puppy's a standing desk, and I recently got it, and I'm loving it. It's a total game changer. When it comes to drafting, I typically like to be isolated. I don't like to be at like coffee shops.
Yeah.
Revision, I'll take myself out and I'll go to a coffee shop here or there, just to change the environment a little bit.
Yeah.
Find some comfortable seating, get a cup of coffee, and then work. But yeah, I think revisions and editing, it's so much editing, especially like going through editor's notes, is so much easier to go to a coffee shop than it is to stand at my desk by myself.
Yeah.
And it sort of forces me to be like, okay, I have to sit here and I have to go through this work. Like I have to do it.
Right. Yeah. You're not at your house where you could do other things, right?
Yeah, exactly.
That makes sense.
So yeah, I think it's ever changing, and I'm learning as I go. And obviously, my environment has changed. Like book 1, I was out in California. Book 2, I was also mostly out in California. After I had set book 1 down, I probably ran through it 4 or 5 times, wrote all of book 2, drafted it, and then I went back into the revisions and editing process of book 1. This between books 2 and 3, it's going to be a little bit different, because now we have the release of book 1 to factor in. So that's kind of changing the process. So essentially, nobody knows what they're doing. Everybody's learning as they go. Well, in my case, yeah. I think the process is going to be ever changing, and I'm open to that. I think it's kind of cool how much you learn of like what works. It's cool also to challenge yourself to see what doesn't work here and there. And yeah, I've been figuring it out as I go for sure. But book 3 will probably, like the official drafting phase of it, I might start in a few days after. I'm going to give myself some time to read, because I've been slow there. And I want to get some more reading done. But I think I might start working back into book 3 a little bit drafting wise, until I get book 2 back from my alpha readers August 15th. So that'll give me some time to develop a little bit more.
Nice. All right. Sounds good. All right. And the last process question I like to ask is, when you're writing, drafting, do you like it to be completely silent? Do you like music while you write? And if you do like music, does it have to be instrumental, or can it be lyrics or anything?
Has to be instrumental. I did Sleep Token for a little bit there, the Ascensionism bit. And Take Me Back to Eden. Like, I like that a little bit. I gave it a try, and it just, I do soundtracks at Beast. I have a list of like 5 or 6 songs. It's Beast from Sicario, The Beast from Sicario, Fitzroy's Choice from Vikings, obviously.
Nice.
1 of 12, I think, which is from Arrival by Johan Johansson. Rest in peace. And then I'll like a few Hans Zimmer from Dune. Arrival, Gom Jabbar, Resurrection, Worm Ride. Those are like the ones that I love.
Okay.
And I'll listen to that on repeat. And otherwise, there's one from The Witcher too. Pride and Purpose, I think, is another one. But also, otherwise, it's like just ambiences. I have a whole list. I actually sent to Noel D, another booktuber, of ambiences that I'll listen to, depending. It's a lot of times in editing, I prefer ambience, because I like just like the consistent droning of the same thing versus like a song changing. Drafting, I prefer the songs, because I feel like it's like scene by scene. It helps me sort of paint the picture better.
Do you listen to certain songs for certain scenes then?
Yeah, there's a particular scene in book 2. I listened to the Harkonnen Arena from Hans Zimmer, and I would just put that single song on repeat over and over again. If that tells anybody something that might be in the second book.
Oh man! All right, all right.
Yeah.
Get ready.
Oh yeah.
Nice. All right. Very cool. All right. So it is. We're coming up on exactly an hour almost here. It's flying by, man. Now, do you have time to go a little bit longer? Because I have some questions for us to get to know you outside of writing. If you have time.
Shoot. Yeah.
All right. Cool. Well, before we do that, you know what's coming. You know you got to do the 1-minute mysteries.
Let's do it.
So, if anyone hasn't seen this, and to remind you, I'm going to have you pick a card in a minute, and every card has a case, and then it tells us the mystery we need to solve. And there's some clues that I can give you if you ask for some, if you want some. The chat can help you out if they think they know the answer, and we'll see how quickly you can solve this mystery. Let's see. Let me make sure. And I don't do some that I've already done. Okay, this one's good. Okay. So I think we are good. So I got 3 here.
Let's do it.
1, 2, 3. What one do you want to do?
Your left.
All right, my left. Wait, the screen's left.
Your left.
My left.
Your left.
This one.
Yeah.
Okay. I get so confused with that, man.
You're good.
All right. Let's see. Yes. This one is a good one, but it's kind of hard too. So here we go. All right. The case: a young trader travels to an exotic land where he liberates a woman and an animal. A native with a very keen sense of smell chases him, and the trader narrowly escapes with his life. So this is based on a story. Who was the trader and what did he trade in order to make his journey? So let me read it again. So a young trader travels to an exotic land where he liberates a woman and an animal. A native from this land with a very keen sense of smell chases him, and the trader narrowly escapes with his life.
It's spelt trader.
Trader, yeah. Trader. Yeah, not traitor. Like, yeah, I got
What did he trade in order to save his own life?
Yeah, he was trading something, but he also saved a woman and an animal.
I guess the guess would be the animal that he traded in order to keep himself alive. Because it feels like that's there. Maybe I'm getting this wrong.
Well, he saved the animal. He didn't trade it. He traded something else.
To save the animal.
Save the animal. Yep.
What did he trade to save the woman and the animal?
Yep.
Okay. I thought he had to like pick one, and he.
Well, the case is not worded very well. It's more that he had to trade something to go on this quest on which he saved the woman and the animal. Okay.
He traded his loyalty.
It's a physical thing he traded.
Dang it.
All right. There's a couple clues that I think will help. This one's kind of hard. All right. The trader is known by his first name, and he has a giant secret.
The way you said giant. It's James and the Giant Peach.
Oh, you're close.
That's what
not
I'm
James though. Not James. It is a J name though.
Jared. Jonathan.
I'll give you another one. It's from a fairy tale.
Oh, okay.
The trader this is weird. I don't know. This is weird, but you might know after I say this. The trader speculates in bean futures.
Jack and the Beanstalk.
Jack and the Beanstalk. That one was a hard one.
Gotcha. Yeah, that is tough.
And they worded it weird because they say he liberates an animal, but he trades the cow for beans. So I
Yeah.
don't really get how he saved the cow because they probably
Yeah.
just went and slaughtered the cow.
No,
So
I needed all of the evidence there. That was
that was a tough one, but you got there.
We got there.
You got there.
Yeah.
So that one was tough. All right. So are you ready for some tough, hard-hitting questions? Not
Let's
really,
go.
but
Let's
are you
do it.
ready? All right. So first question is, what is your favorite color?
Red.
Red. All right. Why red? Has it always been red?
Always been red.
Specific reason, or you just like red?
Red. I think I just like red ever since I can remember. Maybe Darth Maul's lightsaber did it, and Darth Maul.
That's
generally
a good reason.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay. All right.
Darth Vader's lightsaber too. I think I always liked.
Oh, yeah. Darth Vader. Oh.
Yeah.
All right. Let's. This is a question I usually would ask later, but right now I'm going to ask it because we're talking about Star Wars so much.
Sure.
Who is your favorite Star Wars character?
Obi-Wan. It's got to be Obi-Wan
Nice.
Kenobi. Everyone says Anakin nowadays. I loved Anakin, but it's got to be Obi-Wan.
I love Obi-Wan.
Yeah.
Did you like the show?
Yes, Star Wars. Or you mean Kenobi?
Yeah, Kenobi.
Yeah, I know it got a lot of flack. I think I'm sure I liked it.
Yeah,
I liked it enough that I'm like happy they're making a second season. Like,
yep, same.
I'm sure maybe it is one of those stories that doesn't need one, but if we get some Qui-Gon,
yeah, I know. You never know. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I think it'll be good.
Yeah.
All right. What's your favorite food? If you could only eat one kind of food, what would it be?
Oh, pizza, because you can put anything on it, or sushi.
Yes.
Those would be the two. I think
sushi
pizza's easy because you can technically have pizza sushi.
That's true. You could.
Yeah.
You might be onto something there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I love both of those. I'm trying to think together. I think it could be good.
Yeah. Just depends. Depends on what you do.
What's your favorite pizza place? Is it like a local place to you or a chain or?
My favorite pizza I've ever had is not the actual objective best pizza. The best pizza I had is in Penn Station, New York. It's at Don Pepe's. No, it's actually Don Pepe's. And the reason is because I would wake up at 3. I'd get to the train by 4:30. I'd get into the city by 6. I'd walk, mile and a half down to work. I'd be there from 6:30 in the morning until 8 at night, and then I'd walk the mile and a half back to Penn Station. And when I got there, I'd get that 2 slices of that pizza. I'd take it on the 8:45 train, 8:37 train out. Man. And I'd be home, by 10:30, and it was like a little treat at the end of the day. It was rewarding to eat that pizza, after a long day like that. Yeah. So when I first started working in the city as a trainer, it was like it's my favorite pizza because of that. Otherwise, best slice of pizza, that's tough. I do like a good Prince Street slice. We got one near us named Slice. It's really good in Central. It's really good. I really like. Yeah, I think my favorite's in Penn Station. Not because it's the best, but because it means the best. Oh, thank you.
Oh, wow. Shout out, Jacob. Thank you, my friend. We appreciate you, man.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Heck yeah. What's your favorite topping to put on it? Like, what kind of pizza do you usually get?
If I'm getting Domino's, hear me out. Domino's is a different beast. I do enjoy a good Domino's pizza. If I'm getting Domino's, it's bacon and pineapple. Okay. Extra sauce, bacon, pineapple.
Okay.
All right. Favorite topping usually is sausage, pepper, onion. I do love a good meatball topping. I love a penne vodka slice. Love a penne vodka slice. It's like your pasta on top of pizza. It's literally just penne vodka pasta on top of pizza. Really? It's so good. I'm literally going to go get some after this because we were asking me this question.
Yeah, that sounds good.
So good. It's so good.
Okay. What place do you get that at? A local place or
I think usually it's like a pretty normal thing to have a pasta slice.
I've never seen that.
Anywhere. Yeah, no, I think I don't know. I don't think it's just a New York thing. I think it's around. Yeah,
I'll have to try to find it because that does sound good.
If you ever come up here, we'll definitely get some for sure. Yeah.
Sweet. All right. Well, now I'm coming. I mean, I wasn't.
Yeah, exactly. Before, now you gotta. Yeah.
Now I got it. All right. Here Keys has got some ideas. Jalapeno pineapple
bacon. That sounds really good.
That does sound good.
That does sound good.
That does sound really good. I agree. All right. Now you might have to go back in the memory bank for this one. Do you remember what was your first car?
Oh, we shared cars. My mom had like a SUV Acura
Okay.
MDX that I drove when I was very young. We had this like 2006 or 7 Honda Accord that my uncle
Oh,
gave us,
nice.
so that we would
Mhm.
share for a little bit after that MDX got totaled.
Okay.
And then I leased a Kia Optima, a 2012 Kia
Ooh, I
Optima
remember the
after Blake
Optima.
Griffin, or 2015, sorry, Kia Optima, that after
Okay.
Blake Griffin had dunked on it years before. I was like, this seems
Yeah.
like a good car. I'm going to lease this. So I leased that puppy. And then when I was in California, I bought a 2004 Silverado 1500.
Oh, nice.
And I love that thing. I have a
Yep.
buddy that has it now.
Got
I
one of
sold
those
it to
too.
him, but I love that thing.
Ah, those are
I want
good
it back.
trucks.
Yeah, I want it back.
Yeah. I know. It was a good truck. I like that. I had
Yeah.
it too. I had a black one.
Oh,
Those were fun. Those were
yeah, they're
nice.
sick. They're
Uh,
just reliable. I mean, if something
I never had
happens
any
to it,
problems
it's
with
so
that
easy
thing.
to fix.
I know. I know mine got totaled because I was sitting at a so I don't know if they have these where you are, but in Michigan it's called a Michigan turnaround, and you're going one way. It's like 4 lanes, 2 lanes go this way, the other two go that way, and you can turn around in the middle and do like a U-turn and go back
Yeah.
the other way.
Yeah.
Well, I was sitting there just waiting, and this lady comes up behind me and stops behind me. Then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, she just accelerates and smashes into the back of me,
No way.
totaled out the back of it, and it was old enough where they wouldn't fix it. They just totaled it
Oh
out
my God.
because it was still drivable, but it wasn't like legally drivable because the back was so messed up,
Oh, that sucks.
So I had to get rid of it. But it had that cool thing that the Chevy Silverados did. I forget what it was called, but it had like where you could turn really sharp turns, especially for a truck. It was supposed to be where you could almost make it go like sideways, but I could
Really?
turn on a dime in that thing.
My gearbox, was all messed up when I first bought it, and so that was a journey because we replaced
That's
the
no
power
fun.
steering pump, and it didn't fix the problem. And then we took the gearbox out; it was rusted, so we had to
Oh,
replace the entire gearbox. It has a new gearbox on it.
man.
But yeah, the Pitman arm was the hardest. You had to use a torque wrench because that's all we had, and I was like, I pray this works and doesn't, like.
Oh, gosh.
I had enough strength to,
I know,
luckily.
it's always scary. You're just waiting for something to crack or
Yeah,
break.
yep. And that did happen once. It did.
Oh, man.
The screws, the bolts did
Oh,
break.
yeah.
So we had to
You're always
replace
going
them.
to end up with something like that. Like
Yeah.
you watch the YouTube video and they're like, then you do this and that, and it always goes super smooth. And then you get to something and it's rusted,
Why is this
seized
not?
up.
Yeah.
Dang it.
So bad.
I know. The joys of having a car, right?
Yeah.
All right. Next question. What was your first job? Like your very first job as a kid making money? Do you remember?
Yeah, I was a host at Dusal's Pizzeria. I was 14 years. Oh, should I say this out loud? I was legally working for a friend.
Okay.
I worked at a pizzeria, not to be named. There's enough Dusal's, I think, all over New Jersey that nobody will be. Well, I also told
We
them
need one of those
now.
Men in Black things now. To make
I made like not much. I got a half sandwich or a couple slices of pizza at the end of the night, and I'd go home. That was my first job, and I think after that, obviously I landscaped a little bit for a buddy as well.
Mm-hmm.
Those were like the two first things I ever really did for income.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, and then there was a winery before college for a bit there. And
oh wow, okay.
Yeah, some weird different things.
Yeah, you had some good, different things.
Yeah, totally.
Nice. All right. All right. We know that you're good at writing. You're good at this the YouTube thing. What are some hobbies? Well, we know you got the D&D thing, so you can't use that either. But what's a hobby or a talent that we don't know about that you have?
Ooh, I was with Josh from Already Overbooked, and I told him I sing and play guitar. I love doing both of those things. I think that they're fun. It's like
good,
songwriting was actually my first form of storytelling that I
Okay.
really dove into, which are just poems with pretty music behind them. So the song, like singing and playing, is a fun thing for me. I was really, really good at video games when I was younger. Gears of War and World of Warcraft arenas. I was like a 2300 MMR holy paladin for a little bit there. I love some World of Warcraft. But yeah, the Those are the main ones. I don't play video games much anymore, if at all. But I love me some video games.
Nice. Good. Oh, Chris said, yes, you were right, Chris. He's a little behind us. It was Jack and the Beanstalk. You were right.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so that's pretty good. Now, next time you come on, I want you to have a song written. Write the theme song for Mercy, Tears of the Fallen.
I don't know if I could do that. I got a poem in the back of the book you can read. That'll
yeah, there you go. Yeah, just read. I want you to play a song along as you read your blurb, or sing along to your blurb.
Yeah,
there you go.
It's funny. I like that.
Man. All right. Okay. Next question is,
sure.
What are some of your favorite? You already mentioned Lord of the Rings and Dune, and my mind just went blank. Anyway, and Star Wars.
Yeah.
What are some of your favorite movies or TV shows or TV series? I guess
I'll tell you.
TV, but
I can rattle these off. Sicario's up there. Dark Knight Rises, Tombstone, Heat, The Departed.
Awesome. Good.
Yeah, I love all those movies. I'm trying to think like Nolan. I did like Tenet. I wouldn't say it's like a top 10er for me.
Yeah.
I like shows. Peaky Blinders #1, Vikings #2. I just watched Mobland recently. I think that's starting to fight. Game of Thrones, I loved. Just appreciating it for the acting, the cinematography, and just the beauty of the show as a whole. In terms of, but like, obviously narratively, there's a lot of problems I have with the end. Mostly how it was rushed, and I can kind of go on forever about how HBO offered these guys a ton of money and yada yada yada. But here we are, it is what it is. Is what it is. So that's still up there, though. I think just for what it accomplished.
Same.
And then Yellowstone, I loved 1923. I liked 1883. I think more. I liked Lioness, excellent show. And Paramount, great show. I think that sums up the TV shows. But movies, Sicario is definitely. Logan's got to be out there.
Oh, it's so good.
Great movie. So I mean, I tell anybody who like wants to watch a good movie that's like nervous to watch something with superhero in it, Logan I think is a perfect movie. It's like not a superhero movie.
It's so good.
It's like not a superhero movie. It is, and it's not.
For sure.
Such a beautiful movie.
It was. I agree. Yeah. Very good choices, my friend. Now, you mentioned Departed. I have to ask you, we won't spoil anything for anybody, but did you see the ending coming? Did it shock you?
The very ending?
Like the
elevator?
Ending before the very ending. Yeah, the elevator.
I absolutely did not see that coming.
Hey, me neither. I was like, what? Dude, I rewinded. I'm like, what? Did that just happen?
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah. That was absolutely wild.
Messed up.
Love that movie.
So good. But I mean, movies like that, like you hate endings sometimes, but then at the same time, you remember it vividly for the rest of your life. Oh, yeah. Such a good movie, though.
Such a good movie.
Oh, love that movie. But the ending was cool.
Yeah.
Very good. Adam Bassett is here. I mean that's what your book's about.
That is exactly what my book's about. Yeah, entirely in lyrical prose.
Yes. That's actually how you write, how you draft. You just play the guitar and sing, and voice recording picks it up and types it out for you.
Yeah, exactly.
Brilliant.
Absolutely brilliant. Love that.
Oh man,
it's so funny.
All right, so for the there one more question before I get to the last one.
Sure.
I need to know whose replica lightsaber is part of your microphone stand.
Yeah, this is Darth Revan. This is
that's so cool.
This is the Darth Revan lightsaber. My buddy, from the military, got it for me.
That's awesome.
Before he got out, and I got out shortly after. He knows how much I love Revan and the Old Republic, and
heck yeah,
Knights of the Old Republic specifically. I actually, funny enough, I had a pilot I started writing for what I would do if I were making a Revan live action show, and I've run it by a couple Star Wars fans, and they like what I have.
You should pitch it to Disney.
I
need some good ideas.
Yeah, well, that's the thing is like I pitch it to them and then
they'll change it.
yeah, I don't think it'll stay a good idea.
No, not with the people they have right now, right?
Yeah, we'll see.
Oh man.
Eventually, maybe that's something that I'd like to work on because I am so very passionate about. I think that's such a cool. I think Revan is
Oh
such a
yeah.
cool story. I mean, there's a. I don't want to say too much, but actually, I'm not going to say anything at all. But let's just say Star Wars does permeate in my story a little bit. That's all I'll say. Mercy has some Star Wars DNA in it.
That's always a good thing.
Yeah, the good Star Wars.
The good, yeah. The good.
Although Andor, I hear is good. I'm halfway through the second season.
Yeah, I haven't watched the second season yet, but I did like the first one.
Yeah, and I've heard of obviously mixed things about Acolyte, but recently somebody told me they really liked it. So I think
I feel like people that a lot of like I don't know. I feel like it's hard to tell when something first comes out, but yeah, I've heard actually a lot of good things about it from when you get away from like the mainstream critiques of it. I feel like a lot of people that I agree with, they're like, actually, it was pretty good. So I kind of want to check that out too.
Yeah. Yeah. As long as like, I can turn my brain off and, watch, go into it kind of expecting that maybe, I might give it a try. It's
always fun to be in Star Wars world, man.
Yeah. But I understand why. I don't know. That sequel trilogy was just,
I know.
So like just nonsense.
It was. Well, and what's silly is like, did you ever read any of the Legends books?
I have not. No.
I've read some, but not all. But they had so much there that sounds so cool and that people loved. Like, why wouldn't you just use that? Why would you try to do your own thing? There's a lot of
injustice to Luke Skywalker, and
I
don't know.
They wasted having them all back together. I agree.
Somehow Sidious is alive without any previous narrative setup was
you can definitely tell 3 different people. Different people made those movies. It wasn't one.
What's crazy to me is that people are like, "Yeah, it's a great idea." Like,
who's the people in charge that were like
the idea? I bet you the idea actually was. That's the thing is like the idea probably was good when it was presented. And they're like, "Yeah, we'll set it up this way. We'll do this. We'll do that." They're like, "Yeah, maybe we just shoehorn it and see what happens." They won't know. They won't notice.
Yeah, they won't notice. We'll do our own thing. Oh man, it was something else for sure.
Oh yeah.
All right, so let's in closing here, let's bring it back to reading with my last question. So what would you say? I'm not going to put like a certain number on there or anything, but what are a couple of your favorite books and authors, and also what are some that inspired your writing? And they can be the same things, but
yeah, I'll do favorites first. Malazan. And Sun Eater, I think, are Dead House Gate specifically, and any one of the Sun Eater books you can kind of pick. Although, like, I did love Midnight Tides, I loved House of Chains, I love the Bone Hunters, every Malazan book essentially I've loved so far. Sun Eater, same thing. Loved every single book of it. Robin Hobb, I've only read the Farseer trilogy, but that's definitely up there. Joe Abercrombie, I'm up to the Heroes. I finished that. I have to read Red Country. The Heroes is amazing. Love that book.
Oh yeah, so good.
Also, just the first law is so great. Joe Abercrombie's characters. Tad Williams, I don't think gets enough love for his characters and his beautiful purple prose and not overly flowery, but just what it needs to be, just right, just the right word. Tad Williams should definitely deserve some praise for that. I think those are the big ones. I like Robert Harris's Imperium. I think that's just one of those other books that I read and really loved. And then Gene Wolfe and the Book of the New Sun. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Love it. Absolutely love it.
Sam, if you're in here, there you go, man.
I had to say it. And I really liked Will of the Many recently, even though Jake from Nerd Level Rising.
Yeah,
everyone hear that
Jake
doesn't like it.
I don't know. I actually I just started reading that. It's kind of, but then I put a pin in it because I was gonna read it with this buddy read with this Discord I'm in, but I was like, I got too many other things to read. I gotta wait. But I read the first few chapters and I liked it so far. I don't know. Yeah. I don't know if it falls off a cliff like Jake thinks or not.
No, it does not. Did I just mute myself? I didn't mute myself.
Okay. I can hear you.
Okay. Just because I can't.
You're good. Now. You're good. All right. So what about books that inspired you? Same.
Oh, yeah.
Malazan, obviously.
Malazan for sure. Tad Williams, Memory, Sorrow, and Thorn, Joe Abercrombie, the First Law series. I think those are like the big ones for books. And then Elden Ring was the video game that inspired me. Yeah. And just all the lore videos on that.
Oh, yeah. I can see it.
John A. Douglas, mayor of Orc City.
The mayor of Orc City is here.
There we go.
That's crazy how that's taken off.
Yeah, it's so crazy.
It is. All right. So
congrats, by the way. Sorry,
yeah.
John.
Exactly.
On your much earned success.
Right, exactly. All right. So we'll have to wrap it up here because I just looked at the time and I do have to go pick up my wife from work. Since I'm
right.
using her car. Since my truck's in the shop, speaking of truck needing to get fixed.
Yeah.
Anyway, thanks for coming on, man. This has been a blast. I'm so excited for you. I'm excited to help you celebrate next week. So I'm going to give you the floor and let you shout out, say anything you need to say before we go. The floor is yours.
Sure. If people are watching this on July 14th, tonight is the last day that the ebook is 99 cents. Then I have to lock in the final price. There'll be sales, of course, in the future, but I don't know how much freedom I have in terms of setting them. And then the giveaway I'm doing of these 10 arcs is happening. I'm going to go through that at the end of the night. My newsletter gets 5. I'm going to pull 5 names from my newsletter. I'm going to pull 5 names from my comments on my most recent YouTube video. And I'll announce them. Probably have to do it through X. And then I'll probably post them all also on my YouTube community tab. Otherwise, my website, chancedillonauthor.com, usually has a bunch of information on what's going on. I do my writing updates every week over there. Otherwise, stay tuned for some fun stuff with book 2 coming in the future. Book 1 releases July 20th. Book 2 tentatively I have for March of 26.
Woo! All right, that's exciting. Heck
it sounded rehearsed, but I just went off the cuff there.
That was good. It sounded very it didn't. Yeah. It sounded like you just knew what's going on. You got it on lockdown.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on. I should have another thing is like people who ordered hardcovers. Unfortunately, they haven't been shipped to me yet. So the signed hardcovers, I'm waiting on those. But that's like information I got to put out in my video this week for sure.
All right. I'm waiting on one of those hardcovers.
Yeah,
I'm glad I got to see that beautiful naked hardcover, man.
Oh yeah, some nudity.
That's what we're all about here.
I also want to express my disappointment that I'm one Beast Friends Forever episode away from having been a very crucial number.
I know.
Whatever.
I should see who's next. Let's see real quick.
Just make it 69.
Just skip 68.
Yeah, skip 68.
Dang it, man. That would have been perfect for you. Let me see. I gotta see now that you say that. I don't even know who's gonna be next up. You know what? I don't know who's gonna be next because right now my next one isn't for quite a few days. Okay. It's like 10 days away. So it might be Mike Molman, but I don't know. I might have to have you back on for the spoiler.
I guess,
so you can be
right away.
Man,
that'd be so
well.
funny.
I didn't say this earlier, but anybody watching this live or in the replay, down in the description, Chance's website and the book on Amazon, it's linked down there. So be sure to check those things out. And where can people find you outside of your website? Where can people find you if they want to check in and follow you?
Yeah, all my socials are on there, so it's probably easier just to go through that. But Chance.Dillon on YouTube is a big one too. But the website has my Instagram, my Twitter. I typically use those. I'm starting to get into Threads a little bit, and then I think I need to start doing TikTok, which I really don't want to.
Got to get on there, man. TikTok,
but I do. That's what I hear. That's what I hear. It's like, especially for book success, it's like apparently a must-have.
Oh yeah, BookTok's a big thing right now.
Yeah.
Well, and you can set up once you get enough on there, you can set up a shop right through TikTok, and they do pretty good with those. Because you put out a little sales video where you're playing the guitar.
No, interesting.
With those luscious locks.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to pay somebody to do that. I social media is. I'm already at my wit's end.
Oh man, you're doing good. You're good at it. It's because you don't think you're good at it that you're good at it.
Yeah, maybe. That's so funny.
Oh man. All right, I could talk to you all day, but I'm gonna be late.
Grateful you had me on, Chris. Yeah, go get your wife.
Of course.
Thanks so much for doing this, man.
Heck yeah, dude. I'm excited. I can't wait for release day and onward and upward, my friend.
Yes, sir.
All right. So everybody, we're going to end it there. Thanks for being here. You guys were an awesome chat. Enjoy the rest of your day, and we'll see you in the next one. And until I do, devour your TBRs, be brave, be beautiful to one another, and be beastly. We'll see everybody. Go check out Chance's